History and Political Science, Standard 9, Maharashtra Board. Lesson number 4, Economic Development. So we are going to read and understand economic development. We are going to study India's economic policy in this chapter that includes a study of the mixed economy, 5 years plans and their success and failures, nationalization of banks, 20 points program, mill workers strike, and especially the new economic policy of 1991. Mixed economy. So what is mixed economy? We are going to read it. Brainstorming about the kind of economy we would adopt after independence started much before India got independence. Our Prime Minister Pandit Nehru adopted the middle path rather than taking recourse to any extremes. Some countries had adopted capitalism, while some had adopted socialism. Each type of economy had its own advantages. In a capitalist system, the means of production are privately owned. In a socialist economy, the means of production are owned by the state in the name of the society. So it was a question that after independence of our country, 15 August 1947, which kind of economy we would have, whether we would have capitalist economy or socialist economy, because socialist economy was adopted by many countries including Soviet Union, Russia, and many other countries, and capitalist economy was also adopted by the many countries including Western countries, Europe, many European countries, and United States of America. So that was a question what we should adopt. So Pandit Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, has chosen the middle path. And what is the middle path? We are going to read it. So what is capitalist system? Capitalist system is something where all the source of productions are owned by privately individual or company. So that is like the private company owned the source of production of any company, anything. And in socialist economy, all the means of productions would be owned by the state, would be owned by the government. Like all the company resources would be owned by the state, by the government. Whether it's oil, natural gas, privates, mining, everything will be owned by government in socialist economy, like earlier in the Soviet Union. A mixed economy works both in the private and the public sector. In order to achieve economic development of modern India, we gave preference to a model of mixed economy. We can see 3 parts in this kind of economy: public sector, private sector, and joint sector. So we have chosen a middle path. What is the middle path? Like in middle path, there are certain means of production are owned by the government, that is called public sector, and many other are owned by private sector, like private individual or company. So means of production, we have many industries which are owned by individual or company, that is the private sector totally, and certain are the joint sector. So that was the middle path. Like certain means of production would be owned by the government, like railway is owned by the government, central government of India. So this is like that. Public sector, the industries in this sector are completely under the control and management of the government. For example, production of defense equipment. So defense equipment for which are used in warfare, so those equipment are made by the government only. We have government undertaking companies which are completely owned by government. That is called the public sector. That is not owned by any private sector. Number 2 is the private sector. These industries in this sector are owned by the private industrialist. Of course, the government supervises and controls them too. For example, consumer goods. So consumer goods, whatever goods we use, whether food items, groceries, everything, that is normally produced by the private sector only. Right? We go to mall, we go to shops, and we have a private individuals. We will buy the oil, we will buy the food, we will buy many things, many groceries, and those are owned by private sector. And number 3 is joint sector. In this sector, some industries are owned by private industrialists, while some are run under government management. So this is what the joint sector is. So that's how we have public sector, private sector, and joint sector. That is what mixed economy is, which was chosen by the India after its independence. Thank you.